Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another emergency XRP Elliott Wave analysis update. Quickly, before we begin, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you want more of these XRP video updates. If we're able to continue the sustained interest, I will continue to make sure and update the price action throughout the week as XRP is now finally starting to go on the move again. Now, in our previous video, we did discuss the potential Wave 2 correction that was happening, a Wave 2 pullback that is, and it looks like we have now finally concluded that Wave 2. It was a little bit deeper than we expected, but we were able to find the adjusted counts along the way, and we concluded the local timeframes with a very controlled pullback. This was all being monitored on my social media, so if you're not following me on social media on X at XForceGlobal, please do give me a follow there as well. We'll be going over the micro time frame counts in just a second, but first, it does look like Ripple as a company is bringing in some hot headlines to help with the price boost, basically. With the SEC case finally, ladies and gentlemen, finally has concluded. This isn't surprising, and the markets are reacting, and the price action is now justifying the move, and the fundamentals is now justifying the wave counts. So with that being said, we are most likely, with high probability, back on the train to work for that wave 3 to the upside that we have been discussing that could potentially lead us up into that $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10+ per XRP. Now that the SEC case is over, this is now without a doubt entering the acceptance stage that we have been discussing, basically clearing up the waters for what was happening in that confirmation stage for the past 7 months. I also want to remind everyone that try to not be fazed by what's happening here on the local time frames. This is just all building up for the larger grand picture. If you take a look at what has happened in the past run-ups for XRP or any other coin for that matter, we have seen over and over 50 to 60, 70% pullbacks at sometimes before an actual move has occurred to the upside, before a major breakout. But the most important thing here is that XRP, for the very first time in history since 2017, has kept a range for 7 months in a row, basically a price floor. We even called for this 52% pullback back in January. No one wanted to believe me then, and nobody still wants to believe with a potential continuation to the upside. Herd psychology is working overtime, and this is why the Elliott Wave Theory has provided us the proper clarity within reason. Now, another interesting theory that I have advocated in the past is by just looking at the Google Trends, ladies and gentlemen. We are also seeing at the current time of recording, no one is even reacting to the news right now. Ever since the December correction, XRP has not only been able to sustain that price floor for the past 7 months, it has been able to do that while the mean value of interest has dropped to essentially bear market territory. This is incredible. This means that as we are now just finishing up the SEC case, retail is still not reacting to the price here. There is just a ton of evidence-based factors here that is just pointing us more to the upside than to the downside. So this is extremely, extremely fantastic news as we are able to sustain a price floor, and we're also nearing all-time highs once again. So in my opinion, I think we are working for a wave 3 of some sort to the upside. And even with the most bearish scenario that we also anticipated for a potential flat idea that could push back down to the lower levels, I think this is just market makers at play here at best. Basically, it's just, I don't think that they want even a pullback at these levels. There's no better time to do it than now, just like we did back in 2017. So we actually might get this major breakout quite soon, but instead of a wave 4, this is going to be a sustained bull market in my opinion, most likely. Now, we can't always adjust this count, but since we are positioned on the context of a wave 4 to the wave 5 on the macro, it just seems like we're working for a wave 3 instead of a wave 5 to the upside of a degree that might end around $4 to $5. I think we will work for much higher levels in my opinion. We can always adjust it. However, we have been talking about the potential breakout ever since basically forever, right? We've been talking about this breakout since 50 cents, 40 cents, and right now it's just beginning, in my opinion, still after this 7-month accumulation. I think this has been, like I said in my latest update, that this may be the last opportunity to buy XRP on the cheap for the most part from a price action perspective, right? And now all of this is now just wrapping up with the SEC case, just the icing on the cake, in my opinion. Like I said, fundamentals is being justified by the price action. Price action is now justifying the fundamentals. So this is how I'm currently seeing it right now, and we want to be zooming in and how we can sustain this wave 3. This is also something that I do discuss in my social media. If we zoom in, you can see that we are still looking like it's working for a major wave 3 to the upside on even the smallest degree of time. We're seeing this as a wave 1-2 of a primary degree. We had a clean 5-wave move up. Like I said, we were looking for a wave 2 pullback in our latest update of some sort. We were also talking about where this wave 2 might end. We were looking for this 100%. You're looking for equality between waves A or waves W in this case, and looking for a wave Y. Wave equality is something that we always look for when we're playing with the Elliott Wave Theory. The 100% zone is exactly what we had, and look at that. Lo and behold, we got a major price reaction off of those lows, and it looks like it's now continuing to the upside. So in my opinion, to take a pause with this video, look, study the wave counts here if you are an enthusiast for the wave theory. But if you're not, just know that this wave 3 is now just working to the upside. Wave 3 is a good thing. 2 thumbs up, basically. So this is just a quick update, emergency update. It looks like we are working for higher levels. We can work for some kind of bearish scenario here, but I really think that's not going to be happening. We did discuss the possibility for an A, B, and then a C to the upside that could end around the 138.2% zone. So the ultimate final boss, essentially. The bears do still have a chance. There's always going to be a chance, but the 138.2% is going to be that final zone. So look for $4.50 as the final boss resistance. And if we're able to sustain that, ladies and gentlemen, see you at $7 to $10. It just seems like that's the most likely case at this point, especially with this extension happening, this wave 3 target, not even the 161.8 target. It doesn't seem proper for a wave 3. It just seems like it's going to go even up to that 261.8%. This is just an approximate zone. Again, it can end anywhere in between these regions here, but it just seems like a $5 to $7 target as our first major target zone. Looks like it's now just starting to come into play. So we'll see how the markets follow up. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully at much higher levels. Have a fantastic rest of the week. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in joining the Discord membership, the links are in the description below, and the Patreon memberships are in the description below as well. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of the week. Bye-bye.